Welcome back to the Open Road. I'm your host Alex Lefriec, and this week I've got the 2014 Kia Soul. The old Soul was a really polarizing car, love it or hate it. This new one has a completely new design inside and out. So will it be as successful as the old one? We will find out. Let's hit the Open Road. The exterior of the Soul is really more evolution than revolution. Kia knew that they had an iconic shape and didn't really want to mess with it. So things like those big taillights, the boxy shape, and swooped wheel arches have all stayed pretty much the same. In fact, you can't really tell it's a new car until they're right next to one another. And then you'll notice that this is a slightly more subdued shape. It's longer, lower, and wider, and that makes all sorts of things better, including the drive. Speaking of the drive, I am pleased to say that the Soul has gotten better in almost every way. The ride is better. The old car was slightly jarring. This one, very smooth. I love that Kia has put their variable steering options on this car like you can get in the Sorento and Optima. So you can choose between sport, comfort, and normal steering modes, which is a wonderful idea. If we have to put up with these electronically controlled units, we might as well get control over our steering. There are two engine options available on the Soul. The first is a 1.6 liter that'll get you 130 horsepower. Our tester, with the Exclaim trim level, gets you a 2 liter that's good for 164 horsepower with 23 mpg in the city and 31 on the highway. Now this car is pretty darn slow even with the bigger engine, but I suppose it'll get you to the grocery store and back. The one area where I did have some gripes with the old Soul was the interior, and Kia has completely redone it and done a fabulous job. They've kept some of the funkiness of the old interior while at the same time making it a much nicer place to be. Materials are higher quality. There's not a lot of hard plastics now. It's more soft touch leather. It really has grown up. This has a much more grown-up feel, and I think will appeal to an older audience because it's not as colorful inside. It's just more grown up. It's Soul 2.0. A few specifics on the interior of the Soul. The instrument cluster is really nice, big, informative center screen, tack on the left, speedometer on the right, and the steering wheel that's in front of it is wonderful. It's soft padded, heavily bolstered, and heated, so it feels absolutely wonderful. Moving on to the infotainment system, this has got an 8-inch center screen, which is really big, and for the first time, Kia is using an Android-powered operating system instead of a Windows unit for their Uvo system. Works well either way. Touch screen, you can swipe, very easy to use. Backseat legroom and headroom in the Soul is quite impressive for a car this size, and the panoramic sunroof makes it feel even roomier. I'm 6'2", all leg, and I have no problem sitting in the back seat, assuming it's a normal-sized individual in the front. 2 of me is probably going to be an issue, but it's going to be an issue for any car of this size. Cargo volume is pretty much what you would expect. You can get a set or two of golf clubs back there. It's wonderful from a height standpoint. From a depth standpoint, leaves a little something to be desired. Ours has a cargo net, which is great when you can see inside the trunk of these cars so easily, but overall, it's a pretty impressive package for a car this size. Competition for the Soul includes the Mini Countryman, Fiat 500L, and Nissan Juke, and I'm happy to say that I would take the Soul over all of those. The price point is better, I think the design is more iconic, and with Soul 2.0, as I like to call it, this car is all grown up. So definitely worth checking out and taking for a test drive. For the Open Road, I'm your host Alex Lefriec. Thanks so much for watching.